I got the phone out straight away and I start recording. I see these three lights in the sky. I'm looking at something that I cannot explain. What's up, everyone? Thank you for dropping in and clicking on this video. October has just begun and I thought, what better way to start the spooky season off than to share a spooky encounter and mystery that I experienced myself. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to go through a few disclaimers. Number one, this is not clickbait. I literally seen a unidentified flying object. So at the very core of the title and the thumbnail, seen a UFO. It happened. Sue me. Disclaimer number two, and I feel like this is a very important one. I personally have always believed in UFOs, and I know when a lot of people share their encounters, people use certain types of things like this as weapons against that person to kind of discredit them. So I'm coming out, being open with it. I've always believed in UFOs. And third disclaimer, I've always wanted to see a UFO. Take it how you take it, but I hope that doesn't cloud your judgment on whether you think I'm telling the truth or not. And fourth disclaimer, in telling the story of the lead up to what happened, I suffered an injury, and I'll share a photo exactly of that injury. If you are a bit squirmish, you don't like that type of thing, here's the disclaimer. It has blood, so I'll try my best to make it as PG as possible. With all the disclaimers out of the way, let's jump right into it. On the 12th of April 2024 at 8:45 PM in Sydney, New South Wales, I looked up at night and seen something that I still can't explain to this day, and I don't think I'll ever be able to explain what I seen. The lead up to the day was quite interesting. Now, I didn't include seeing any aliens, I didn't wake up wanting to see a UFO, I didn't plan on this to happen. It was just a normal day. It had to have been on the weekend because I was doing gardening. Now, at this specific point in gardening, I was cutting down a tree and I hit a really stubborn branch. It just wasn't breaking. Big old dummy over here. Thought I would put all of my body weight on this branch, hoping it would crack and snap off. And it did crack and snap off. Right into my head. I fell straight on my butt. It really hurt. It actually cut me open. I'm 90% sure it concussed me also. I'll share a photo here. It's a little bit nasty. It's not just like a straight up and down cut. Yeah, a really nasty one. I was probably a few millimeters away from needing stitches. I went and quickly got cleaned up, stopped the bleeding. It just kind of like stuffed my whole day around. I stopped doing housework that day. I just kind of sat down and I was in a pretty bad mood. Jack got a bit grumpy. I just sat around for hours and hours to the point where dinner had passed, I hadn't eaten, and I became hangry Jack, which is a whole nother beast. Being grumpy and then hangry, not a good combination, and I got to the point in the night where I was just, screw it, I'm getting up, I'm going to get food. Now, I went to a undisclosed fried chicken store. Not going to mention a name because they don't sponsor me yet. Once I arrived, everything was normal. I've been to this place like a million times. Nothing out of the ordinary. It wasn't super busy, but it wasn't quiet by a far stretch. Got in, ordered my food, got my food in about 10 minutes. It wasn't a long wait. I walk out like normal, going towards the car, which is straight ahead of me, and I glance up. And I'm still kind of dazed a little bit. I'm not concussed or anything still, I don't think. I was thinking straight, I drove there. So I had to have been not too bad. And I look up, just casually, and I'm staring there for a second. And then it dawns upon me after a second of just zoning out that I'm looking at something I can't understand. And I see these three lights in the sky, floating weirdly, very weirdly. I then instantly think, flares. Now, I for one have seen flares before. I've seen them ignited up close and let off up in the sky. I realise the flares should have fallen out of the sky at this point. And then I'm looking up at the sky and I'm thinking, That's not flares. To paint the picture, there's about 10 cars in the car park with just as many people in those cars. Across the road are roadworks going on with road workers there present. Across from them is a service station with multiple cars in that, and I just felt like everyone was moving while I was standing still. It was a really weird occurrence. I get like this feeling over my body with the realization that I'm looking at something that I cannot explain, and I still can't put it in the words how I felt, but I was the only one that was noticing this from what I seen. Instantly, first thought, get the phone out, get proof of this thing. If anyone ever tells you that, man, I seen this thing, you would not believe it, but I didn't record it. No excuses. Which is why I wanted to tell the story of me hitting my head, because it just made me think and wonder about all the people that have like been discredited from stories or encounters that they've claimed to witness, and something came out where it was like, oh, they had hit their head or something had happened to them where we can't properly believe this person. If I hadn't recorded this thing, I would be a crazy person that had a really bad head accident that day. It just makes you wonder though, like how many people have just been discredited because something like that had come up and they didn't have the proof. So now, the moment you've been waiting for. Here's the footage. What did you think? Pretty wild. After the last light disappeared, I kind of just stood there, looking up, and probably looked like a real crazy person on drugs or something, mouth open, just like I was waiting for something to happen. I was waiting for the light to come back, you know, take me with you. Didn't come back though, and I was looking around like, is anyone else just staring up at the sky as to what just happened? No, it was just me. I didn't watch the video until I got home. I kind of let it soak in. My mind was racing. Every time that I've gone back to that restaurant, every time I'm looking out like a crazy person, hoping to see something again. And I think when you hope to see something, it probably won't happen. That's why I was so shocked that I did see something this night, because it's not something I think about every day, but it is one of those conversations when you're up late with a friend or up late watching TV, going down rabbit holes on YouTube. You always go down that UFO conversation and topic, and who wouldn't want to see something like this? I've shown the video to many people, many personal friends, work colleagues. No one has a good idea as to what it could be. So please, in the comments section, let me know what you think this could have been. I'm all out of answers. I've tried thinking, but I can't wrap my brain around this thing. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions. If you have your own story or your own encounter with a UFO or something even crazier, please do put that in the comment section. I really want to hear that too. Thank you for watching the video. Not a long one, but definitely interesting. I've always wanted to have this kind of experience and say that I seen something. Even though I don't know what it is, I seen something. It may not be aliens or something crazy, but it was an unidentified flying object, and I can now say that I'm part of that little club. And until next time, stay safe and keep looking up at the sky. Never know what you'll see. How's it going? What's doing? What is up, big dogs and cats? What is up, pretty baby mamas and daddies? God damn it.